I'm going to request His Highness, Maharaja of Takur, to give us a few words in the glories of Vinoda Swami.
Jayapataka Swami Maharaja, the Holiness, Swami Maharaja. The Hare Krishna International Consciousness devotees and devotees of Trivandrum who have assembled here this morning. Today is a very unusually auspicious day. There is an old habit among people of my generation that either when going on a journey or on a good day, to open one of the good books at random and look at what it says. It is a kind of what you find today in the papers, a daily proverb. It has been my fortune to read the Bhagavad Gita, the Vishnu Sahasranama and Mukundamala every day in the morning. This morning, when I began my devotions, the chapter that I have to read this morning in the Bhagavad Gita is the 11th chapter, which is showing the glory of the Lord in his Vishva Rupa form. That is, he is everywhere. There is nothing beyond him. It is, I think, a very marvelous sign of today. The second thing is, if I told you an astonishing statistics of adoration, I have today been fortunate to worship 12,006 adorationable forms of the Lord. It is said in our Shastras that if in one place you can have 12 saligrams, that makes a Mahakshetra. The Padmanabha Swami temple, the Mula Vigraha is composed of 12,000 saligrams, which means it is like going to 1,000 temples, or 1,000 temples. After today, to make it possible to be with all of you on this happy day, I have got up a little earlier than usual, at dawn or pre-dawn at 4:30. I have finished my devotions, come to the household divinities, then to Padmanabha Swami, then to Narasara Mahaprabhu, and now here. I do my devotions daily. It has been a happy thing that I have been able to do so for the last 73 years. I am now 78 years old. When I come to the old house, I worship in a place called the Acharyas, Mahagarapati and Shiva. Then I go to the family shrine where I worship Saligrams and many more things. Then I go to an unusual place which is not generally found, that is environmental adoration of Prakriti. It is called a Kava. A Kava means where apparently the people of Kerala particularly adore the serpent. The serpent is always found in proximity to God. He is either serving, he is being useful, or he is being a protector from the element. Now, it is also misunderstood that it is because of a complex of awe or fear that we worship the snake. We do not. Because the snake, with the risen to its form, represents in the Sahasrara, the Muladhara, 7 chakras, representing Kundalini Shakti, that is latent, which is present in man. That is what we adore. After that, I change and I go to worship. It's not connected. There is a mistaken feeling that it is a selfish process that I do in the morning to take away 15 minutes of time which could be better utilized by other devotees than me. But permit me to tell you that it is part of the ritual of the temple that I go alone and I submit to him what has happened to his state, to his realm the day before. In the year 1750, my ancestors, who bears my own name, surrendered to the sun and the moon to dance for eternity. His faith himself to the Lord, and he became from then on not the ruler of the state, whom he has served the Lord, called himself in all humility Padmanabha Das. If I may quote a paragraph from the 8th-volume compendium written by Takur and Jagat on Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhiji has come graciously, magnanimously, 4 times to try to call. The last time he came was the year 1936. My brother had, from the feelings of his heart, made it possible for everybody to be able to have Samipyam, Salukyam, Ayukyam with the Lord by a simple act of opening the door of the temple under his control. Gandhiji went to the temple and he said, this man who looks after the stage on behalf of the Lord cannot make many mistakes because he is daily instructed as to what he should do. If there is a mistake, it is only because of his incapacity to understand the instructions, not because of his consciously making a mistake. When I came here, in the welcome, a word of mention about what my ancestor had made, a garden of 45 gemstones called a garland for Mukunda. He was called Kuleshekar Perama as the ruler and Kuleshekar Alva as the saint. He wrote one particular poem in the 45 called Nasta Dhamme Pakunjay. That shloka is found written in gigantic letters in a town called Jagat in Burma, about 45 kilometers from Rangoon or Yangon, as it is called now. When we get up in the morning, Namo Charana Krishna, Ashwin, Sagana Roga, Satyam, Satyam, Vadamyaham. The next line is very indicative of why we are all here today. Satyam, Satyam, Punah Satyam, Udhritya, Bhujam Uchyate, Vedashastra, Bharat Nasti, Nadevam, Keshava, Bharam. If you look at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in ecstasy, he does the divine dance with his Bhuja, Udhritya, like that. That is how he prayed to the Lord. I was given a small booklet when I came here. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. With a request for being pardoned for supposed inattentiveness, I did glance through and I found there were 11 Puranas mentioned. May I mention 2 more? One is the Varaha Purana. In the chapter 150, which is called, strangely enough, Dhyanandura Mahatmyam. Dhyanandura is another synonym of Sri Anandapuram, Tiruvananthapuram, and the emphasized form of Trivandrum. The 29th sloka of the Varaha Purana, Acharyas 150 says, Dhyanandure Vikyatam Bhume Hridayam Vadam Mama Uttare Samudrasya Araya Dakshine. The Lord came and manifested his feet in this holy place, which was the beginning the temple of Padmanabha. May I now go to Srimad Bhagavatam, Skanda 10, Adhyaya 79. May I quote two slokas, sloka 17 and sloka 18. Tatra Satyam Samasinam Namaskritya Abhivadhyata Yoginastena Cha Ashidi Anujnyatam Dharannavam Yakshinam Tatra Sanyakyam Durga Devi Dadashita. This is a portion, a part of the description of the pilgrimage of Balarama or Balabhadra from Kurukshetra all over India, so that he could be continuously absent during the war that was taking place for 18 days. He came to the south, he came to Kanyakumari, he did his obeisance to the Acharyas. Then he came and did his pranams to the well-known Devi of Kanyakumari, Durga. Then the 18th sloka says, Tatra Bhagavatanasvadya Ajyakshara Namustamam Vishnu Sanikido Yasa Natva Arsha Gavayasam. He came to Halpuna. Halpuna Kshetra is Sri Padmanabha Swami Kshetra. There he paid the Panchakshara, which is the Takur, which is most holy, Samam. Then he did Sanikido Vishnu, where Vishnu was found, and then he gave the gift of 10,000 cows whose horns were tipped with gold. As was mentioned in the welcome address, life is never smooth. If it is, we would have less time for divinity because humanity would be more prominent. I have had 2 or 3 hard times last evening. I was upbraided, cold and hot for what happened this morning. I would like to entrench what I have done with quotations from the scriptures. May I quote the Bhagavad Gita, the 18th Adhyaya, the 67th sloka, which says, Idam te na namaskaya na saraya kadajana na ashruksheva vajyam achamam yo apisuyati. That means, those who find fault, those who are not worshipful, ever, they have no place in the world of my being. Do not tell them my words, do not tell them the Upanishads, do not tell them the scriptures. But the 68th sloka says, Adhyakshe Teta Yat Idam Dhamyam Sammana Avayo Jnana Yajnena Terinaham Ishtha Janadine Madi. I am fond of those who will do all the things that I have said should not be done by those people who have no faith or belief. There is so much to say. There is so little to say about Padmanabha Swami Temple. The best I can do is to suggest, offer to many of you a book called the Sri Padmanabha Swami Temple, written by a member of my family, my niece, Gauri Lakshmi Rai. The book was written by, it was published by one of the foremost publishing houses in India because of the subject matter, because of the story of the Lord by the Bharatiya Vidya Bhava. It was released, it was made luminous at the hands of His Holiness Sri Bharatiya Swami, the Acharya Swami of the Sringeri. It would be a waste of time for me to go and tell you what the book contains because it could be studied more carefully, most preciously from the book there, those 2 words from me. It will be the fortune of the family which I have, the honor and the blessing to belong. To have the year 1750, the entire state, everything to those kids, surrendered to the Lord by an act called Trivandrum. That means Tri means blessed, Padi means steps, Dana means offers. In 1760, after fructuous wars and tribulations, my ancestor surrendered himself, the state, everything he possessed to the Lord, and from that moment came only to serve the Master. The last so many years to be the blessing of this house, to be able to continue without a fault, without a failure, in the discharge of this wondrous, odorous, happy duty. It is not my intention to sit and talk to you. You have heard the blessed words of Bhanu. That gave me a little courage to speak to you because my name is synonymous with this blessed name. Now I stand between you and the next words of Swamy Jayapataka Swami. May I before speak offer to him something which is unusual in this temple. A yatra, an utsava in the Sri Padmanabha Swami temple. This temple has unusually 2 yatras in the year. The next one is going to start within the next few days on the 23rd of this month and will conclude on the 1st of the next month. This is a flag of the Sri Krishna temple in the Padmanabha Swami temple complex. This shows Vinoda Bhagavan who adorns the flag path, the Dvajastambha of the Krishna Swami temple, the Sri Padmanabha Swami temple complex. I have desire and privilege to give this to Your Holiness. And may I be also permitted to give you whatever little thoughts I have been able to convey to you. And this will happen now with the next on the 20th. Every year we have a new one.
Hey, the man, picture. Can you receive a gift for ITV school review?
A really wonderful gift to Maharaj.
Bhakti Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavati Ashtatya Deshatarine Namo Mahabhadanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Krishe Namo Namah Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Divabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwapanusune Devi Pranami Bhaktiye Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Takur Divacharam Mangalangai Giri Atipanahan Bhante Sri Guru Minatarinam Paramanam Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Jai Sri Padmanabha Ki Jai Sri Bhagavan Sri Krishna Ki Jai Sri Gurudev Ki Jai Sri Mahaprabhu Ki Jai Gopinath With special regards to His Highness Uttaradham Tirunal Martanda Varma Maharaj, Maharaj of Travancore, His Holiness Bhanu Swamy, to all of the devotees from ISKCON worldwide, from our ISKCON in South India. Actually, today we have here devotees from approximately 35 countries, from Argentina, Australia, Austria, Belgium, Bolivia, Bosnia, Colombia, Croatia, Denmark, Ecuador, France, Germany, Hungary, India, Israel, Italy, Japan, Malaysia, Moldavia, Mauritius, Mexico, New Zealand, Peru, Poland, Russia, South Africa, Slovenia, Spain, Sweden, United Kingdom, Ukraine, Uruguay, United States of America, Venezuela, and Yugoslavia. Those devotees right here from Australasia, Australia, New Zealand, and New Caledonia, raise your hands. Those devotees from Southeast Asia, Japan, Malaysia, Philippines, and Singapore, and all those countries, raise your hands. Those devotees from Mauritius, Africa, Israel, and those from Russia and former Soviet Union. And we have from Poland, former Yugoslavia, Slovenia, Croatia, all those Eastern Europe. Then from Western Europe, from Italy, Germany, Denmark, Sweden, UK, Switzerland, and Austria. Then those from North America, USA, and Canada. And those from South America, Mexico. Leave out any confidence. And those from India. Bangladesh and Nepal. So, you can see, we have a worldwide family. First, I want to express heartfelt gratitude to His Highness. And he personally admitted that although it seems like a simple thing to allow to have a lotus foot of Lord Chaitanya placed in the temple, this already has been done in Tirupati, it's been done in Mangalgiri, in Andhra Pradesh, it's been done in over a dozen temples, in the Sri Ranganath temple, as well as of course in Jagat Puri, in Vinoda, Shala, Bihar, and various holy places around India. But as this temple is a very ancient temple, running on very high traditions, anything that appears to be even a slight change of tradition or something requires a certain amount of willpower to be able to enact it. Actually, this is we have to be very grateful to the courage and the spiritual vision of His Highness for allowing this smriti, this remembrance that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had visited here. Actually, you can also have a lotus footprint of Lord Balaram. He also visited, and I heard that also many other great, many saints have also visited this temple, like Purashekha Maharaj, Ramanuja Acharya, Madhva Acharya, Vilamangala Takur, as Maharaj pointed out, and maybe also the Shankaracharya. So that this is very, very special temple. We know that Lord Chaitanya came here because it was recorded within the Chaitanya Charitamrita in more than one place. it mentions here, in a small print there. Bahu Jatne Che Puti Milo Lekaya Ananda Padmanabha Parashita Hoya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu copied the Brahma Samhita, that's from the Adhikeshava temple, and afterwards with great pleasure went to a place known as Ananta Padmanabha. Dinadui Padmanabhe Koilo Darasan Anande Dekite Aila Sri Janada. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remained for 2 or 3 days at Ananta Padmanabha temple and visited the temple there. Then with great ecstasy he went to see the temple of Sri Janardana. Janardana temple will go later today. It's 24 kilometers north. So when the Lord comes on a pilgrimage, or his great devotees come on a pilgrimage to holy temples, they are coming in the mood as they are coming home. They know this is the eternal abode. Ananta Padmanabha temple, as His Highness has read, is mentioned in the that was the Vamana Purana, Varaha Purana, Kurma Purana, Padma Purana, Brahmanda Purana, Bhagavat Purana. In fact, he has mentioned that his niece has written a book of Sri Padmanabha. How many of you are interested to get a copy of that book? Read more about the glories of this temple. So we have many customers here. How to get a copy? About 25. It's a book distribution. Actually, the devotees are very hungry. They all want to know more and more about these temples we're visiting. And so little is available in English language or in a way where we can say. When I'm speaking English now, it's being translated into Russian, Spanish, Croatian, and various other languages. So, but at least English is a medium that we can communicate. In this temple, it states that only those who profess the Hindu religion can enter. And we're very happy that we're able to, since we are professing this Vedic culture, Sanatana Dharma, Hindu Dharma, we're happy to be able to see this very ancient, come before and offer our prayers and obeisances to the this ancient form of the Lord. I don't know if you all heard very carefully that His Highness mentioned that there are 12 Shilas required to make a Mahatirtha. But the Ananta Padmanabha deity is comprised of over 12,000 Shaligram Shilas that have somehow combined together into this form. Therefore, this is like a 1,000 temples. And we also understand that there are certain Mahatirthas which even when there is a pralaya, destruction of the universe, they are not destroyed, they remain there to shelter the bhaktas. And this Ananda Nilaya, this abode of Ananta Padmanabha, remains one of those eternal shelters for the devotees. There are only about 7 or 8 such mentioned in the Shastra, 8 such tirthas, and this is one of them. Like Mathura, Mayapur, 2 others, 8 others, this is one of them. So one, remembering the Lord's name, leaving their body from this place, they can go directly back to the spiritual world. Now we understand that it may be very difficult for people to understand why we are saying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. Because he himself did not say that he was Krishna. In fact, if anyone would say that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Krishna to his face, he would cover his ears and say, Vishnu, 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 never say such a thing. I am a bhakta. So, naturally, it's very difficult. How will people understand that why especially in India today, when there are many people who are claiming to be avatars. In fact, it has made a situation of being an avatar almost cheap. To be an avatar is not something that everybody can be avatar. Only the Lord Himself, when He descends, He's the avatar. Not that everybody can claim that they're avatars. But in the Puranas, in the Mahabharata, it clearly mentions that in the Kali Yuga, the Lord does not come and proclaim Himself to be an avatar. Just like we came here from Tirupati. And when the Lord came as Srivasa, in the previous Kali Yuga, He did not tell anyone He was the Lord. He came as a covered way, Chanda. And in this Kali Yuga, just after Lord Krishna's appearance, Krishna had predicted that He would come but as a devotee. It is very esoteric that in discussion with his queen Rukmini mentioned to Krishna, you know everything, you know what Brahma is doing, you know what the whole creation, everything's going on. But the one thing you seem to lack knowledge about is what the devotee really feels in her heart for you. Because you being a Lord, you don't know what the devotee feels. You know what you feel. But what we feel is something very special. And Radharani knows that what I'm feeling today, I don't know if you know it. I think you don't know it. So then Krishna, He comments that I will come in Kali Yuga, but this time I will give to place His Guru Narad, He said, I will give the Harinam Sankirtan. That is also predicted that Lord will come in Kali Yuga, but He won't come in the black color. He'll come in another color. Krishna Varnam Trisa Krishnam Sankupangashta Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtana Prarai Yajanti Hi Sameda Saha. The Krishna will come, Krishna Avarna, that He will come, but not in golden color, not in a Krishna blackish color. He already came black as Krishna, He came as Ram in a green color, He came in the reddish color in Satyuga. So the only color left is Pita Varna, or golden color. That's mentioned also in the Mahabharata, that there's a form of the Lord. Suvarna Varna Himango, that the form of the Lord in a golden color. Where for the first half of His life, He comes as a householder. And then, in the end of His life, He becomes a sannyasi. So, Suvarna Varna Himango Varankas Sandanan Kavi Sannyasa Krishchana Shanto Nishta Shanti Parayana. In his early pastimes, he appears as a householder with a golden complexion. His limbs are beautiful and his body smeared with a pulp of sandalwood seems like molten gold. In his later pastimes, he accepts the sannyas order and he is equipoised and peaceful. He is the highest abode of peace and devotion, for he silences the impersonalist non-devotees. This is a verse in the Mahabharata and Bhakti Dharma Vishnu Sahasranam Stotra. In his commentary on the Vishnu Sahasranam called the Mahabharata Sudha Vidha Shivaladevi Vidyadusan, Commenting upon this verse asserts that Lord Chaitanya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead according to evidence in the Upanishads. He explains that Suvarna means a golden complexion. He also quotes the Vedic injunction, Yajapasya pasyate rukma varnam kartaram ishan purusham brahma yoni. Rukma varnam kartaram isham refers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead as having complexion color of molten gold. So Lord Chaitanya, known as Gauranga, he has golden complexion. And he did what was predicted for Kali Yuga, to spread the Sankirtan movement, Yajai Sankirtana Prarayana. He came with many associates, Sanghapangas Parshadam. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he predicted that he would only preach within India, but that later someone would come and spread this message of his, the holy name, all over the world. He predicted, Pratibhite Ache, Jato Nagaradi Gram, Sarvatra Pracharite Vaive Varna. That by this holy name of Krishna that I am spreading will be sung from the entire world, in every town and village, Jato Nagar Adi Gram, in the whole world. And we are blessed that our founder, Acharyas, His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Swami Prabhupada, was able to fulfill this prediction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and bring the Sanatana Dharma, bring the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, all over the world. The Prabhupada ki, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki. So just like Lord Buddha is we accept him as avatar because the Vedas predict that Buddha will come, but he will bring people away from the misuse of sacrifice. We accept the Shankaracharya as the Shiva avatar to bring people back to the Vedas. And we accept also that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Krishna who came Bhakta root, because this was the prediction in Vedas that he would spread the Sankirtan and he would also relish what it is like to be a Bhakta. He can do this in the Kali Yuga because in the Kali Yuga he is known as Tri Yuga. He only comes in Satya, Treta and Dharma Yuga in a proclaimed way. So as a hidden avatar he comes in the Kali Yuga and he mixes with the devotees. So the speciality of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is he gives bhakti freely to everyone. All over the world he is giving bhakti. And that's why we're seeing this amazing transformation that the people all over the world, they have adopted the Sanatana Dharma, they adopted it just like you can see here. They are wearing Sika, they're wearing Tulasi, they're wearing Urdhva Kundra, they're wearing the Yajna Travidrams, having gone through samskaras. This morning, the security wanted to see the passport with the name to identify the people to let them in their temple. However, we can identify whether they are Hindu by all of these markings and by but the passport, how do you identify? So, all this was possible because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's blessing. But even then, Lord Chaitanya, he took sannyas. So some people respect him as a sannyasi or a saint or a great religious leader, or those who are his followers and who understand the confidential teaching of the Vedas. They accept him as a special avatar of Krishna, as a bhakta. Krishna is his own greatest devotee. So we are very honored. We hope that all the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu followers and all the devotees around the world will also remember the Padmanabha temple, that they will also be able to come and when they touch the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and go and bow down before Padmanabha, before the ancient Krishna temple, before Narsingadev. We hope that we'll also be able to participate in this special festival that His Highness has mentioned to us, 18th of April, until the
1st of April. 1st of April, 31st of March, 30th of March.
first day is 1st of April.
Last day, 4 by 10 days.
When does it begin this year?
23rd.
Of March. 23rd of March. Well, you would have been too busy then. Otherwise, we could have organized to bring them in, but I think you would have been too busy to give us this time. But anyone who is possible to come on 23rd of March, keep in mind that that will go until the 1st of April. It's a busy time for us, but we'll try. So, and I had the great good fortune some years ago. I'd also met His Highness, that time in the presence of his brother. I think we met one time. I don't know if you remember, but I remember. Remember, okay.
Right here.
Here also. And the way he's been protecting the Dharma and the culture. You know, the way India now is being influenced with the MTV and so many things. The influence of the westernization is very intense. In the midst of that, to maintain the ancient traditions of the temples, to maintain the purity of the temples, to maintain that environment where people can come and worship in the same way as was practiced millions of years before, thousands of years before. That is something very special. We are all missionaries all over the world, and these devotees, they have come here to get purified, then they'll go back to Russia, back to Croatia, back to Yugoslavia, Denmark, and wherever they come from, Australia, and they'll be propagating the Sanatana Dharma. And they'll be carrying this with them, because over there are no, as you probably have known, there are no symptoms very much of Vedic culture. It's all Western. It's Western. So they want to bring this experience of the ancient culture and re-establish that and bring that and preserve that in the West, so that people there get an understanding about the purpose of human form of life. We are all born into this material world not to live like animals and simply eat and sleep and drink and die and be reborn again. But we are coming in this world so we can realize our eternal relationship with Krishna. So we can realize that we are the eternal spirit soul. And then we can engage in devotional service to the Lord. And at the end of life we can go back to home, back to Jagat, back to Vaikuntha, back to Golok Vrindavan. So the human beings are being deprived of this opportunity normally, but these great temples have given that opportunity. Now this chanting of Hare Krishna has gone all over the world to also give people who normally didn't have that hope to also be devotees. And after becoming devotee, they want to come and visit these places which are mentioned in the Puranas, and they want to worship the Lord here, and they want to get the blessings. And with that we hope that we will all get the full blessings of Padmanabha, Krishna, and Narsingadev, and all the great Acharyas that were here before, so that they will be empowered to spread this spiritual culture all over the world, and to also practice this very carefully their whole life. Just as we have heard how the previous, in 1750, the previous Maharaj, he was the king, Maharaj. Now, we don't see that same glory because of the coming of democracy, but that time was a full monarchy. He was the absolute monarch. But he decided he wanted to dedicate everything at the feet of the Lord, his kingdom. Just like our Acharyas have prayed, Manaso, Deho, Jo Pichu More, Artilo, Tua Pote, Nanda Kishore. He offered everything to Padmanabha. What an example. And after that, he managed his kingdom as a servant of the Lord. This is something we all need to do, or we don't have a kingdom to offer. We only have a simple body in a small house that we live in. If the king can offer like that a whole kingdom and serve the Lord, what an example for all of us to follow. Acharyas Let everyone follow the great example and in our life offer our mind, our body, our little house, not the huge palace and kingdom, and whatever we have, with the Lord's feet of the Lord, and engage in a service attitude, in a service mode. I also don't want to speak too long. I don't want to keep the Maharaj tied up. But one last thing I wanted to express, that I'm very much overwhelmed that he gave me this gift. I don't know where it went. On the plate. Also because my name is Jayapataka. On the victory flag of Krishna, and today I was given, I think for the first time, the victory flag of Krishna as a gift. So I'm going to cherish this very much. You know, Krishna's flag had Garuda, and Arjuna's flag had Hanuman. So this is the Krishna flag with Garuda. I have no words to express the great honor and the great satisfaction. So I was told I should only express that in Sanskrit. Santush Tosh Me. I think we should all give a big expression of our gratitude to His Highness. It's not going to be the final plaque that we have there. We're going to make it more appropriately in consultation with His Highness. But this is a very historical moment and a very auspicious moment. We pray the Lord Nrsimhadev to also protect the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Krishna, to protect His Highness from everything that may be an obstacle in his path. He can overcome all the obstacles, and that his ability to go on serving the Lord will simply increase more and more, and that his good fame in serving the Lord will also inspire others to take up a similar kind of service attitude. We hope that we can do more service for Lord Padmanabha and for Krishna and the temple here in any way. We are also offering ourselves to do some more seva for the Lord here. We're waiting for His guidance from His Highness in this regard. Hare Krishna.
So very much enlightened and enriched by the experience that we've had here today. On behalf of the members of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness, I'd like to thank His Highness Maharaja Bhanu and presiding over this function here today, giving us permission, guidance, words. I'd like to thank His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj for enlightening us and speaking about missions, Krishna Consciousness movement, the history of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the things holding place. I'd like to thank His Holiness Bhanu Swamy for also enriching our consciousness with the culture. What is the meaning of life? I'd like to thank all the devotees in the Hare Krishna movement who also journey from many distant parts of the world, coming here today to participate in this function. Heard Rishastra Pramanam of the glory of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and installed the Lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this most sacred theatre in the whole universe. And we pray that under the guidance Highness Maharaj Trivandrum, that this tradition will go on for eternity. Hare Krishna.
Those who are not able to take action can do so after taking prasad. Please go for prasad now. I'll tell you.
I used to travel a lot, but now I can hardly go anywhere.